It's Tour in the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of If There Is, I Haven't Found It Yet, and Chaplin. Plus, I get to go to the 2012 Broadway Flea Market. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle.
So you had an interesting weekend.
Yes, I did. I'll tell you something that I really enjoyed. I went to the Broadway Flea Market and auction, and this is done every year as a fundraiser.
26th annual.
And all the Broadway and many of the off-Broadway shows and many people associated with the theater, including advertising agencies and our own friends at Broadway Beat, have exhibits there. So I went to see what kind of merchandise they had, and this is what I found.
It was the 2012 Broadway Flea Market and auction, and the cream of the Great White Way was there. Of course, you'd expect to be able to get autographed posters, programs, and T-shirts, but there was far more than that.
Hey, Spiderman, we have the Technora bracelets. We take this flying line that's used for Spiderman, and when it's done and we have to swap it out, we then cut it into pieces, form it with a special tool into bracelets. And on them we have Spider-Man costumes. When we retire Spider-Man costumes, we can't just throw them out whole. We actually have to cut them up so that nobody will pull them out of the trash. So we take the pieces and we put them on the bracelets, and we get our Spidey Tech Line bracelets. Right. So we're competing. Goblin got needs a little competition here. So we have Goblin bracelets, and we have Spidey bracelets, and we have plain bracelets. And they have a little Kevlar in them, so you're real safe.
So this was actually used in the show?
Absolutely. This is used in the show, this is used in the show, and these are freak costumes as opposed to Goblin costumes.
These are what? I'm sorry?
They're costumes from the freak part, not from the Goblin himself.
You can't get the Goblin.
Can't get the Goblin.
But you can get Spider-Man.
They have naked Spider-Man running around.
Okay.
This is a prop from the Addams Family pre-Broadway tryout. It was in Chicago, and it ended up being cut from the opening number, but now it's here for people to try out.
So for how much?
Well, it's already been sold. But right now we're just letting people take pictures in it.
Oh, okay.
For a $1.
Okay.
This is the original poster from Papermill Playhouse, Joseph, and as you can see, the paper that's on a much thicker paper than today. And actually, this one does not say, but a lot of them used to say air conditioned on top, which really was a luxury. So this is probably from the 50s. There is no actual date on it. Yes. This here says, call the box office DR6 4343 for Cabaret, which is very funny because that was the exchange phone. So that just shows the age of this poster.
And do you have any idea how far this goes back to?
This I would say is probably 50 years old, this poster. Yeah, we don't have any more of the air-conditioned ones. It would say air-conditioned. I love those, actually. It's definitely...
And is the theater still air-conditioned?
Yes. Thank God, yes.
These are actual show-used newspapers, replicas of the paper that came out regarding the strike by the Newsies. I'm an oldie, so I'm on the bad side of things. But these were actually used in the show.
We're doing celebrity voice messages.
Oh yes, celebrities.
Are these
celebrity voice messages?
Are these the actual people or?
They're all impersonators.
No, they're all impersonators. We have Bernadette Peters. On that list. We have Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette Peters will do an answering machine message.
We have Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton will say whatever you want.
We have Regis Philbin.
How are you? Nice to see you. If you want a voicemail, I'll leave it.
We have Ryan Knowles.
Hi.
Oh my God, that was uncanny.
So on.
We have Perez Hilton, who's actually going to be here, but I can do my best.
Oh, sorry, honey. Thank you. Good to see you.
5 million people just saw that. 5 million people just saw that.
This is the Broadway real-time video table. This is a very special year because this year is an homage to our producer, Bradshaw Smith, who just passed away. He is looking down on us today. We have gone back into the vault to the archives. We have things like the second, third, and fourth Broadway Bears that have never been available before. We have the very first Ishibana competition that was held at the Palace Theatre on April 18th, 1987. We have the Tommy 50 15th anniversary concert. We have Sweet Charity, the last thing Gwen Verdon ever did, with Cheetah, BB, and Reinking. We have Bernadette Peters' entire concert for the Minskoff Theatre. We have the brand new Broadway Bears, Happy Endings. We have the new Gypsy of the Year. We have the new Broadway Backwards 7. It has been such a wonderful day today. The fans have been coming out and spending all this beautiful money for BCEFN.
And if you wanted to get this after the flea market,
is it www.realtime? If you can't come today to the flea market, you want some of these incredible one-of-a-type items, go to realtimevideoproductions.com.
And if that's not enough, you could also get a sketch used in Warhorse, an autographed guitar hole from Once, and a one-of-a-kind plate autographed by and with a picture of the cast of Bring It On. Well, after walking through the entire flea market, I needed a rest. Ah, comfy. I'm Charles Gross.
Well, that's really something, Charlie. You know, I was with them in the very beginning when they first started. The first year they made $12,000, and I ran the stage directors and choreographers table. It's been a long time. It's 26 years. I haven't been doing it since. But this year they took in, are you ready for this? They took in $681,892. Wow. They had 59 tables. These are all statistics that I got offline, obviously. And Wicked, all by itself, took in $17,245. Broadway Beat that you had on there did $12,561, and Newsical took in a little more than that, a lot more than that actually. They have made over $9,870.
And this goes to
date, and this money goes to Equity Fights AIDS. Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS,
right.
and it's more than that now. It's moved into other areas, but it is for the Broadway community and into other areas of community as well. And the most money, I find this fascinating, the most money that was spent on anything was at the auction, and it was $40,000 for tickets to, are you ready?
Hit me.
Barbra Streisand at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
Now imagine how much they could have gotten if she were on Broadway.
Very good.
This is just for
Very
Brooklyn.
Good. And I think $35,000 or $37,000 was to a premiere of another show. I don't remember what the show was. Sorry, I missed that part. Right. But that's where the larger sums of money
they can come up with some very interesting things. I think one year they had a rehearsal piano from Chicago that they auctioned off. This year, as you saw, they had Wednesday Addams' Coffin.
Right, and backstage visits to various shows always bring in money. And
even appearances occasionally. I think when Title of Show was on Broadway.
Yes.
You actually had a
they had a walk on in Chicago. Somebody got dolled up in one of those outfits and was able to go, oh, you know, you got to really be ready to do that to get into one of those.
Absolutely, but it's a fun time is had by all, and very often you'll see people actually who perform in the show, who work in the show.
Well, the Newsical table was all the musical cast. Christine Petty, who's a good friend, and we should have Christine on the show sometime. I bet she'd love to come and talk to us.
I bet we'd love to have her.
Give her a talk.
Yes.
We'll give her a call.
And if we don't like her, she can be anyone we want.
She's a wonderful Ethel Merman, great Liza Minnelli. Her Liza Minnelli is...
And obviously a wonderful Bernadette Peters.
And a Bernadette Peters, yes.
And when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us two.
On the aisle.